Warning, the next etude is definitely not for beginners, but still a little fun. Let's go.
We are writing the year 77.5. A young German musician named Justin Ulrich Gombach wandered through the lands in the search of the hardest finger-breaking etude which you can possibly play on your instrument. And there, in the forest of the Taunus, carved in stones, he found it. An etude so difficult that all of his fingers broke after the first time he tried to play it.
Which is absolute bullshit. Hey Guitar Champion, I'm Justin Hornbach, back from my practice cave, and welcome to today's video. I wrote this etude to practice three things: right hand control, left hand independency, and to gain endurance for big stretches with our fingers in the left hand. Though I didn't broke my fingers yet, this is still a really tough and hard etude. But there are also some pretty interesting arpeggio shapes in it, so it's definitely worth to check out, even if you are just an intermediate level or even beginner. Sometimes just watching tabs like those and just listening to this music can help you to be or to get a better musician. Let's check out this etude note by note. You can find the tabs for today's video in the description box. There's a link where you can download it. And like we German used to say, weniger schnacken, Kopf nacken. Let's go. Okay, this etude is actually written on this beautiful guitar, and this guitar here is a 7-string guitar, but not with a low B string, instead of that with a low A string, and everything tuned down one full step, so it's a low G string. But I want to show you this etude, so I'm going to switch to a normal tuned guitar, and you can find also a backing track for this etude for a normal tuned guitar in the link where you can also find the tabs. So let me really quickly, with the help and the magic of editing, here, normal tuned guitar. Let's go. So first, let us check out the chord progression that we have in this etude. We're first starting off with A minor, going to E major, going back to A minor, going to B major as a dominant for E minor, then again B major, D major, then we're going to A major, C major, G major, F sharp major, B major, and resolving into E minor. Okay, the first bar, the first A minor bar slow goes like this. So we're starting off with this A minor triad. And have the string skipping section where we're going from the fifths to the root. And I really like this shape. We don't have to use some roll technique in it. We can play it all with our fingers individually. So this is a really cool. So actually, this is a pretty cool lick, a pretty cool arpeggio shape that you can use. You can try to outline some arpeggios by yourself with it. For example, you could also do it in major, like C major, or you can do it in minor 7 flat 5. For example, A minor 7 flat 5. So it's a pretty cool shape. So here we have an A minor. Then we are continuing with a scale run, with those kind of 4-note sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to the next bar, the E major bar, sorry. And this bar goes slowly like this. So first I'm outlining E dominant 7, E major triad, here starting on the 3rd, 5th, root 3rd, going to the next inversion, where we now have here the dominant 7 on the D string. And then I have this scale run in A melodic minor. Or seeing it still as our root note from E, it's E mixolydian flat 13. Sorry. Right, then we are back again at A minor, and here I'm doing this arpeggio shape now. You all know this shape. It's our typical C shape for A minor, when you know the cage system. Or you at least probably know the sweep arpeggio. But here I'm stacking it with this kind of more interesting interval section that we have here. Like going from the root to the fifth, to the minor third, to the root, to the fifth, to the minor third, and so on. Skipping one note, going back to the note, creating a really cool sequence here. And then I'm going one inversion higher to this shape here, but playing it like this. Which creates a really cool exercise for this kind of stretching here. Our pinky is on the 17th fret, but we need our ring finger in the 14th fret, our middle finger in the 13th fret, and our index finger on the 12th fret. So we have a good exercise to practice, especially this shape here. Then we're going to B major. Here we have a really cool way to outline an arpeggio horizontally. First starting off with a C-shape sequence, then including the next shape, also the dominant sevenths to it, but still starting on the third to create this kind of stretch here, where we only have the dominant seventh, the major third, and the root note. We're not playing the fifths in this shape, so then we're moving up to the next kind of inversion, but we are keeping the sequence, the string skipping sequence, and here now we have the fifth, the root, and the root, because this is an octave, and going to the next inversion where we're playing root, major third, and major third. And though we can release it to E minor, to the next E minor section. Now, the next few shapes are really difficult, but really interesting, and creating a really cool pattern and sound for your arpeggios. E minor, for example, goes like this in slow. So I'm just playing E minor triads here, no extra note, but creating this really cool sequence. Again, where we are jumping over the next interval and then going back to the interval that we have jumped before. In this case, we're going from the root to the minor third to the fifth, so we're playing it descending. Root, minor third, fifth, root, minor third, fifth, root, minor third, fifth, root, minor third, fifth, root, minor third. Then we are going to B major, and we are kind of keeping the same formula. And now we have this interesting shape, which start with this tricky 22nd fret, 22nd fret on the E and on the B string, on the G string. Going to the root, the 19th fret on the E string. Oh, sorry. Getting a little bit lost here when I have to play it slowly. Again? Ah, sorry. And it's the same shape. I'm taking the triad, but I'm not playing it just descending like this. I'm jumping between those intervals and creating this really cool sequence. And the formula for this sequence, again, is pretty easy. When we have a triad, we have 3 notes, and I'm starting note number 1, jumping to note number 2, and I'm starting on note number 1, jumping to note number 3, going to note number 2, again 1, and so on and so on. In octave seeing and now descending. Right, then we're going to D major, kind of the same shape, the same formula, the same pattern, but this is going to be stretchy. Let's check this one out. The only difference here now is that we have this really basic triad shape when we're playing it ascending to go to the next chord. But here for the formula we have root, major third, fifth, root, major third, fifth, root, major third, fifth, root, major third, fifth, root, playing the triad. Alright, then we're going to A major, and here's another one which is really stretchy, really crazy, but a really awesome exercise. This is the first section. And here you have to realize you have something like this as a stretch. You have to go from your pinky, 19th fret, to the index finger, 12th fret, and in between that you have to play the 18th fret and the 17th fret still, and the 14th fret on the G string. Then I'm going to the next shape, which is kind of the same idea, but one string set below, still in an inversion of A major. Ugh, that was nothing. Playing both together, we have. It's also really tricky for our right hand because of the big string skipping jumps that we have here. Inside picking with string skipping, all of this kind of stuff. Not that easy. Alright, now the C major is a little bit more relaxing. And here I have focused a little bit more on rhythmical variations because the last few patterns, the last few bars are based on the same rhythmical kind of idea, based on the same sequence. So I want to spice things up here with some interesting shifting accents. And the next bar with the C major goes like this. But here the really interesting part is the first section of this bar where we have two 5-note phrases. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And after that, we have to jump from the 13th fret, from the 15th fret on the E string to the 13th fret on the B string. And by doing this, I take this pattern, the sequence, and changing the fingering inside of the sequence. I could stick with the same fingering, but then it would be impossible for my index finger to make this jump in this small amount of timing. So I do like this. So instead of taking the middle finger here on the 15th as a 17th fret on the G string, I the second time go here with the ring finger to play with my middle finger, the 15th fret on the E string, to go with my index finger on the 13th fret B string. Now we are going to G major, and G major is actually pretty easy. We're taking just two G major inversions, this one here and this one here, and combining them. Like this, slowly. Then F sharp major. This one is again a little bit based on the A minor section from the pattern or from the sequence idea, but with a little inversion twist here vertically. Oh, sorry. This one stretch kills me all the time. This one here. What was I thinking? Fuck. This is really not easy. God damn it. And then we're going to the last section where we even fast things up, going from playing straight 60 notes to 60 note triplets. The sequence of the pattern is one of my favorite sequences at the moment. I did a video about this kind of modern speed picking sequence. You can watch it here when you're clicking to the information card, which is here or here. I don't know. And it goes like this. First pattern. Second pattern, which is a very cool diminished kind of chord to outline B dominant 7 flat 9. Next one. This is really tricky because of the two changing finger positions here, going from this stretch here to this, to the close position, again to the stretch. And then the last one, which outlined a normal D major arpeggio, but with adding the 4th and the flat 9 to it. So again. Voila. And this is one of the hardest etudes that I wrote, and I've practicing this now for at least 4 weeks now, but I'm feeling a lot of more strength in my finger due to this exercise, due to this etude, especially for those kind of stretchy things. And I'm getting used to more creative arpeggios ideas, and outlining in chords a little bit more interesting than instead of playing the normal sweep. But I could outline it just with sweep. A minor, E major, going back to A minor, then the B major, going to E minor, and so on and so on. You all know the story. But this is a little bit more modern, a little bit more interesting, and but still neoclassical sounding. So, I hope I'm going to see you in my next video. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, and a subscribe. Learn this lick, practice it, master it. Cheers, and stay progress.